You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news this hour, as dry conditions continue across the Suncoast, a weekend fire took out parts of a Venice park.
Service Club Park is closed as the city now decides what to do next with it. ABC7's Christopher Brantley joins us live in Venice with more on the story tonight. Christopher?
Well, good evening, guys. The gate is locked. There is police line tape up and a no trespassing sign posted. It's pretty clear the Service Club Park here in Venice is closed. But from here, you can't really tell why. That is, until you get to the boardwalk. About 25% of it was reduced to charcoal this past weekend. The fire department responded around 3:20 Sunday morning.
We think it is an unintended consequence related from a campfire, possibly from a homeless group that was in the area.
The fire spread rapidly through the dry bushes until it got to the boardwalk. Then it burned so hot, firefighters had to use the 100-foot ladder truck to knock down the flames from above.
Put a high volume of water on it to knock it down and then advance our hose lines up to knock the rest of it and diminish the hot spots.
Perhaps adding insult to this injury is the fact that all of this was just rebuilt. In fact, it was slated for its final inspection on Monday.
Unfortunately, we had just finished the project on Friday.
The slightly frustrated-looking man is Assistant City Engineer James Clinch. His team spent the last 3 months upgrading the boardwalk.
Completely replacing all the decking, railings, fencing, redoing the slopes, redoing all the picnic shelters.
The city rebuilt it using composite material. They say it's not as flammable as wood.
There's timber supports for the structural components, but the decking and the railings are all composite, which means they're a non-wood material, harder to burn, but at the right heat, they will burn as well.
And burn they did. After so much time and $350,000 of taxpayer money spent to upgrade the park, the question becomes, who pays to fix it again?
We are currently assessing that situation and talking with our risk management department to see if this falls under our insurance claim policy or if this is something that will have to come out of the same 1 cent sales tax fund.
And really, until they determine how they're going to pay for it, it's likely the park is still going to remain closed. However, it's important to note 75% of the boardwalk is still in fine condition, so it's likely they'll want to get some repairs made quickly and get it open. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thanks so much. Well, if you haven't noticed, tree pollen season is in full bloom here on the Suncoast. Those greenish yellow spores covering cars and pool decks, likely a mixture of pine and oak tree pollen, according to local allergist Ava Burkus. Monday's pollen levels in the Sarasota area are the highest forecasted this week by pollen.com. Dr. Burkus says people who have severe allergies that can lead to trouble breathing, sleep deprivation, or congestion are all at risk of contracting more harmful viruses like flu while their immune system is distracted.
The nasal steroid sprays are especially useful for people who have a lot of nasal congestion.
Very bad. I know without even looking that the oak trees are blooming.
Florida has 11 different species of oak trees that contribute to this pollen season, which normally will wrap up by May. However, that's when the grass pollen season usually begins. It can also affect people with severe allergies as well. I talked to a lot of people lately who are dealing with this.
I know, and a lot of people are taking, Claritin or anything that they can to just kind of, make those allergies kind of go away.
The eyes
diminish.
from itching and the nose from running. I mean, it's everything these days. Let's get more on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Hi, Bob.
Hi, and I heard from an allergist also who says that because of our cold January that we saw, that February was so warm that all the different kinds of oak trees, and 11 you mentioned, kind of came all together as far as that pollen goes and caused some problems. February was the warmest on record, by the way, here along the Suncoast. We had an average temperature of 80 degrees. Normally it's around 72. Well, we have another cold front on the way. That's going to wash the atmosphere out a little bit, so our pollen count will go down on Wednesday. Tuesday, it's going to remain high, and this cold front will bring us some beneficial rains. We haven't had much rainfall here, and we're going to see some of that rainfall moving in on Wednesday. We'll give you the timing and let you know as far as the severity goes with it in just a minute. 68 degrees our current temp. We have clear skies. The dew point is at 46. Winds out of the west-northwest at 9. And we're in for another chilly night ahead. Details on all that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. We have more information about the state's gun bill making its way through the Florida legislature. A new Florida Senate plan would look to arm school staff, but not teachers, according to the Tampa Bay Times. This vote coming down just minutes ago and aims to make schools safer and keep guns away from those with mental illness. The legislation has drawn opposition from both gun rights supporters and gun control advocates. The measure would raise the age to 21 for the purchase of rifles and other long guns, create a 3-day waiting period on purchases of rifles, and allow some staff to carry guns to schools. Some state leaders recognize that the bill won't make everyone happy, but it's better than doing nothing.
Is it all of what we want? No. But one of the things I've learned in my very short time of being here, if both sides are upset, then you're somewhere in the middle, and that's not a terribly bad place to be.
I have never, in 17 years of coming and going to this legislature, voted more restrictions on law-abiding people and their freedom to take responsibility for themselves and others regarding firearms.
Now, it would be up to each school district to decide if whether or not they want to take part in this new plan. The push for this legislation comes after last month's deadly school shooting in Parkland. The House will take up the bill later this week before the session ends on Friday. And almost 3 weeks after that deadly school shooting, state senators voted to exempt the students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High from standardized testing. The annual reading, writing, and math tests are given to most students in the state, but if passed, the Broward County school students would only take the tests if they wanted to. The measure was part of an education bill that also includes a new private school voucher program for bullied students. It would also ensure that the school keeps its current 8th grade under Florida's grading system.
And we may be getting a new back-to-school holiday, tax holiday here in Florida. And this one would last 10 days. The House voting 75 to 35 today for the legislation that would also create 3 storm preparation tax holidays later this year. If the bill becomes law, Floridians will be able to buy batteries, portable radios, generators, all tax-free. It would also mean a slight decrease in the taxes for commercial rent. However, many Democrats voted against the bill because it would create a new tax credit that could be used for the state's main private school voucher program. Right now, Florida offers tax credits to companies that agree to donate money to the organization that offers scholarships to low-income families. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the future is unclear for undocumented immigrants and their families. We'll share Congress's efforts to come up with a solution.
And how Floridians are responding as the DACA program is set to expire.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Get ready, music lovers. We're celebrating the diversity of our fine arts scene here on the Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, the maestro of Sarasota Opera joins us for an update on their 59th season. Then one of the best jazz clarinetists ever previews the upcoming Sarasota Jazz Festival. We'll rock out and get some drum lessons, and Ice Smile Asian Ice Cream joins us in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Loaded with big laughs, colorful characters, and the songs that made the 20s roar, Bullets Over Broadway is bringing musical theater back with a bang. Your attendance is requested at the Players Center for this wild Broadway musical opening February 21st. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit the website at theplayers.org. This is one Broadway show that is sure to knock 'em dead.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today was supposed to be the deadline for Congress to come up with a solution for Dreamers following President Trump's decision to repeal the Obama administration's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, better known as DACA.
For Dreamers and their advocates, with many here in Florida, the future is just as uncertain as ever. ABC's Lana Zach has more from Washington.
Dreamers gathered today with a unified message to Congress. It's time to fix DACA.
The Republicans gave themselves a deadline of March 5th. Today is March 5th, and we have no DACA fix.
Across the country, protesters gathered to keep the pressure on lawmakers to come up with a permanent status solution for the young men and women raised in the United States without legal status.
The deadline is now. We need a solution. We need a permanent solution, and we need action right now.
But Congress is at a stalemate, and the battle is currently playing out in the courts. Two separate federal decisions stop President Trump's plans to end DACA today, making the deadline now just symbolic. Over the weekend, the fate of the Dreamers was discussed at the Oscars.
Dreams are the foundation of America.
To all the dreamers out there, we stand with you.
It was also on the mind of President Trump, who said we're all working together on DACA.
They claim to want to fix DACA. The president laid out a pathway and an exact way to do that. They failed to address it, but we're still hopeful that Congress will actually do their jobs, show up and get something done.
But the leading Democrat on immigration reform thinks the president could move things forward if he really wants to.
The president rejected 6 different bipartisan approaches, and it failed in the Senate. That was 2 weeks ago. Now, the only way it moves forward is if the Republican leaders get a signal from the president of something he will accept.
For now, current Dreamers can apply to renew their legal status. The case will ultimately likely end up being decided by the Supreme Court if Congress fails to act. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
It's not fair. And we need an actual path to citizenship this time. And we're not going to stop fighting until we get it.
A group of Florida protesters are also pushing for the passage of a Clean Dream Act policy. Members of multiple organizations rallying outside of Senator Marco Rubio's Orlando office today. Those attending today's protest also recognized relatives who have been deported or died during their journey to the U.S.
Well, we might see some rain later this week. Bob Harrigan will have all those details right after this.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it.
using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We had an unusual February here on the Suncoast.
It was so hot.
Yeah. But now,
normal. It's normal. And we were expecting this to happen too. We were looking at long-range models about 2 weeks ago, and sure enough, it was indicating a cool down. And this is going to stick around too for a while. So it's not going to just go away over a week or two, and we'll get back into those upper 70s to low 80s. No, it's going to stick around a while. So
I saw a few people walking around in vests and scarves today, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I had shorts and a sleeveless shirt on this morning. I went back in real quick because it was 47 degrees this morning. That was chilly at the airport. Yeah. 40 is not out of the question again tomorrow in places. Lakewood Ranch, a beautiful afternoon though. Lots of clear skies out there, hardly a cloud to be found, and that's a result of high pressure which is built in behind this front. And this front is going to be modified considerably tomorrow. And speaking of snowbirds, and here's a look at those snowbirds right there. White pelicans, they come down from Canada and also in the northern portions of the United States. And Terry's sending this one in on the pond there. They're bigger than the normal brown pelicans that we see here, and they don't dive for their food. They just stick their big, longer beaks in the water around the bait and get their food. Well, Titan radar picture showing the first of a couple of fronts headed our way. Right now it's producing rainfall into Texas, Louisiana, stretching up into parts of Illinois tonight, and then it changes over to snow. Heavy snow and heavy snow warnings are in effect. This is a blizzard warning in effect for parts of the Dakotas. We have a fire danger into Kansas and Oklahoma. This is a high wind warning, and on top of that, winter storm warnings in effect all the way through Minnesota. This is all going to shift eastward too over the upcoming 48 hours. Look at the snowfall totals through this week. You can see in some areas bullseyeing up to nearly 18 to 20 inches of snow for places into Vermont. Good for skiing there, but tough weather into Michigan as well as into Wisconsin. Lesser amounts in Ohio, but still they're going to get quite a bit of snowfall there over the upcoming days. 68 degrees right now, and the dew point is at 46. That's extremely low, and the temperatures will get cold again at 47 this morning at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport, not close to the record. 74 the high. It was pretty close to the average. 61 in Jacksonville, 72 now in Orlando. It's 70 in Miami, 72 in Key West. The forecast tomorrow looks to be a little bit warmer. We'll have highs in the mid to upper 70s away from the water. Right on the beach is right around 75 degrees. Well, the satellite and radar picture showing that massive winter storm gaining strength now in the upper Mississippi Valley and the northern plain states. That will head east. It will send a cold front our way, but before that, the warm air moves in from the south in advance of the front. The front approaching the panhandle on Tuesday morning. That warm air goes away, and a chance for a few showers looks like late on into Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. But Wednesday morning will be the wettest of them all. And I think we'll get up to maybe a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall in a large area of the Suncoast. Now, the long-range forecast, now that was for Wednesday. Look at this. Saturday looks good here, a few clouds, and then yes, here comes another front headed right our way on Sunday. So another chance for some showers. We could even see some thunderstorms with this front. Even the one on Wednesday, there's a slight chance for a few thunderstorms on Wednesday morning, but it will be rather disruptive for commuters and folks dropping off their kids on Wednesday morning. Well, temperatures have chilled out over the northern plain states and throughout the Great Lakes region in the 30s there. So winter certainly has come back with a vengeance across most of the United States. Southeast winds turn to the south at 5 to 10 knots in the morning and then 15 knots in the afternoon. We'll have a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. Well, a lot to take in. First alert weather day on Wednesday, especially in the morning, showers disrupting the day. Could clear out for the spring training games, both down at the Rays Stadium as well as in the Pirates. And then cooler on Thursday and Friday, a much better chance for rain on Wednesday. Some of these storms could be strong. We'll have to monitor this. And as I alluded to, it looks like this cool spell will last at least through mid-March. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The University of Florida recognized as one of the top universities in the state, but now it's receiving national recognition. The U.S. News and World Report listing UF as one of the top public universities in the country. UF coming in at number 9 in the 2018 rankings, moving up 5 spots from last year. It's the state's highest ranked university. Go Gators. The report measures 7 areas, including undergraduate academic reputation, graduation rates, and faculty resources. By the way, the University of California, Berkeley and UCLA tied for the top spot. Linda?
Coming up, we'll take you back to the 1950s on this spot.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a digital sales manager with at least 3 years experience in digital revenue development. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Someone who hadn't visited the Suncoast since maybe the 1950s likely wouldn't recognize the area today.
ABC7's Linda Carson takes us for a walk down memory lane in a place we call home.
As we walked in downtown Sarasota, near the corner of Osprey and Main Street, Sarasota author and historian Jeff LaHerde reminisced about the good old days at this intersection.
Yeah, I think no place probably personifies old Sarasota from New Sarasota than this bank, which is New Sarasota, and the old Smack, which was Old Sarasota.
Jeff says Smack's was the most popular spot in Sarasota back then.
This is the place where all the kids used to hang out, a la American Graffiti. Families used to come here because the dinners were delicious. Businessmen came here at lunchtime for hamburgers or a cool beer. It was an outside type drive-in.
In those days, US 41 ran along where Main Street is now, so this was a major highway. Owner Mac McDonald built Smacks in 1937.
He paid $15,000 for the property. He paid a buddy $4,000 to build what we knew as Smacks, and then he sold it in '57 for $300,000.
And all the years he owned it, business was booming.
In 1951, they sold more Borden's ice cream here than any other place in Florida.
Wow.
It was the Borden's #1 account. And they had like 12 separate dinners. You could get a half of a chicken dinner along with all the fixings for like $1.25 in 1955.
And across the street from Smacks back then, where Michael Saunders' office now stands.
That was Saprito Fruit Shippers, Tony Saprito and his brothers. And he was a city councilman for a number of terms during the 1950s.
And on the other corner, the same thing is there today that was there in the 1950s.
Reese's gas station, service station over here, is probably one of the few real service stations left. You know, before self-pump gas, you'd pull into a place like Reese, they'd check under the hood, they'd put air in the tire. You know, it was truly full service, and it still is.
And on the fourth corner and across the street, there was another service station. All long gone now. And what can we learn from all of these changes?
Nothing still stays the same in Sarasota. Nothing at all.
Like they say, the only things certain in life are death, taxes, and change. We've just got to make sure we keep changing for the better. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
A lot of traffic in downtown Sarasota, too.
Everywhere, it seems. Yeah, everyone's coming down here to visit our nice weather. And speaking of change, we're going to see some changes tomorrow. Mid to upper 70s, a little warmer, and then a big chance for rainfall on Wednesday.
Sure need it. All right, Bob, thank you. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.